Hey, everybody. I am super excited today. I want to first and foremost welcome you to Business Insights with Matt Milia. And we're going to talk about ways that you can recession-proof your business, where you can lock down your business through and really do it through diversification. We're going to talk a little bit about that diversification with someone who is very diverse and who is absolutely killing it in all fronts and all areas of life. But before we go into that, first, I'm going to cue my intro. Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. So it's funny, I just realized I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing when I was walking down the little intro area of the video. That's hilarious. Anyways, what's up, Heath? How are you, brother?
Good. How are you doing? Thank you for inviting me to the podcast. Very excited.
Yeah, on here. Absolutely. Well, for everybody who's been living under a rock, they don't know who Heath Hall is. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
My name is Heath Hall, and I've been in the mortgage industry for about 30 years. Just recently got into diversification when it comes to life insurance, annuities, and estate planning. Worked with Family First Life. Great company. Recently, in the last couple of years, opened up a health spa, and also own a medical grow facility. And right now, I'm real excited with basically being a living benefit specialist. And I like helping people when it comes to their finances and basically giving them the insight in how to develop and diversify when it comes to assets and preparing themselves for the future.
I love it. Well, you got a lot of diversification going on. So you got mortgage, you got medical marijuana, you've got a health spa. You've also got crypto, which actually I have you to thank because I've come up on crypto and made some money, which is always good. But why don't you share a little bit about some of your experience with crypto and what do you think are some of the best places to put money into right now as far as that goes?
Well, I like to diversify when it comes to, I always like gold, silver, having a tangible asset. Just recently, probably over the last 4 or 5 years, got into crypto. Now, I was really against crypto, didn't like it because you couldn't touch it, and just got to learn more about crypto and experience and going through the trenches on, why is it the future, what to expect, and what not to do and what to do when it comes to crypto. Crypto is more of, time in the market mostly than timing the market. If you're going to sit and get quick type of scheme, you're not going to do that. So there's a lot of different things that you need to do when you get into crypto. You need to research the coin, you know the utilization of the coin and why you think it's going to propel and be such a dominant coin. Everybody loves Bitcoin, Ethereum. They're the most two dominant ones, but there's not a ton of profit unless you've got a ton of money to throw into those bigger coins. So if you get into those altcoins, you can actually explode your wealth. And, I always tell people don't put, your lunch money, your rent money into crypto. But, the biggest thing is really utilizing and research online about each coin and know why it's going to go to the moon and what's going to happen. We only have about 7% of people involved in crypto right now. If that drastically goes to 30 to 40%, which depending on what happens with the market and, that's going to take it to a 10 trillion market cap. And Bitcoin's probably going to be worth, $500,000. It's close to $1 million at that point. So, when the USDC coin that's coming out, they're trying to launch that come November 28th. And they're going to try to control your spending. I think people are going to get really into more crypto because of the fact that the government can't control it as much. So, so I would say over the last 3 years, I bought, in Bitcoin low, sold it when it was high. Same thing with Ethereum. I love crypto. It's kind of like, I don't want to go to this grocery store and spend money, but crypto, I'm just open up the wallet. So,
Right, right.
you know what I mean? So my thing is I love crypto, gold and silver. Real estate, I lost a lot of money in real estate in '08. So I don't like to get into, I like the new fad, new trends, but crypto, definitely Chainlink, I think is a phenomenal coin. Chainlink is a phenomenal coin. Solana is going to be it's going to probably blow Ethereum. Ethereum away. Polygon is going to be a good coin. And then you get into all the gaming coins and the metaverse coins and things like that. Shiba Inu, I love that coin. I've been bullish since it came out 2 years ago. Very bullish on it, and made a lot of money on that. So. It just depends on what you're trying to do with your portfolio. The biggest thing now is protecting your assets. And that's what I love about the insurance and annuity business is people have 401ks and things of that sort. And you can actually go in and transfer their 401k into an annuity so they don't lose money in the market. As the market's getting diversified, the ups, the downs, they lose money. Crypto, you got to either be in it for the long haul. I always tell people to set up 2 accounts. One account is your long-term plays, the things that you're really bullish. Doesn't matter how it drops, what it does. When it dips, you buy the dips. You're very bullish. It doesn't matter. You're not going to sell those coins. And then you have another account that you play, you go back and forth. You buy it low, you sell it high. You buy it low again, sell it high. And those are the ones you seesaw and you can really propel and make quick money on, because crypto is very volatile. If you can play those 2 fences and put money that you can afford to lose into that, you'll do really well. So
I think that's the key, because a lot of people think, I'll take some cash and I'll throw it in here. And I mean, I've got buddies that they've made a killing in, buying even on penny stocks, and like they're just those guys that are naturally lucky guys, like where they don't even do that much research. They're just like, oh, I'm going to pick this stock. They pick it, and then it ends up like going crazy, and they make a bunch of money on it. They sell it. I've had guys though that, of course, lost their shirt and couldn't make their car payment that next month. I'm like, what are you doing? Like to me, that's an addiction. It gets to a point where if you're putting your last in, I would never do that. Curious on your thoughts. What do you think about XRP?
Oh, it's going to be an unbelievable coin. Once the government stops the regulations on that coin, it's hard to buy right now because everybody's banned. There's not many platforms that you can buy it on. And that's a good question, Matt, because, they're compressing that with the lawsuits and saying that it's such a, it's at 30 cents, 37 cents. It's been 37 cents for, I don't know how long. It's stayed flat. But I honestly think that's going to be a $10 to $12, $15 coin. Chainlink, $100 coin, easy. And the things when you buy crypto, the biggest thing you have to look at is you have to look at, the website. You got to look at the tokenomics of the coin. You got to look at the white paper and do your research on, when you go to Etherscan or Binance Scan and you see the transactions going in and out. If you see it always just going in, and then you see these large withdrawals, then that's going to be a rug pull. You're going to eventually wind up losing your money. So Etherscan tells you a lot about it. And then also there's SNP token that you can actually look and see if, how much do they have as far as the liquidity in the coin. If they have very little liquidity in the coin, then, it's a little coin that's a little bit too early that I would probably invest in. So, finding the right coin is definitely hard, but if you do enough research and you can figure out and get in ahead of the curve, you can do really well. But don't be foolish. Look at Terra Luna. I knew that coin was going to fall to zero. He's already rug pulled 2 coins. And matter of fact, I think he's dealing with some financial issues with Korean authorities raided his house. But he had 2 other coins that he took to the moon, and then he rug pulled and pulled all the money out. I think Terra Luna Classic coin is going to be a good coin now that it's decentralized and you can't manipulate the coin anymore. I definitely think that it'll be a very good coin. Now, how long will it take to get to $1? I don't know. I threw a couple of $100 in it, $400 or $500 in it, just to see what it's going to do. But I think that eventually that coin will come back, and if it hits $1, then I made a good investment. So
I think a lot of people get into these coins and they think they're going to get rich quick. What's your advice to people like that? I mean, what are your thoughts with all that?
You got to do your homework. It's like anything else. When you get into something, you want to be the best at your craft, to be the best at really working crypto and what you want to do. You've got to learn it. My best advice to you is dig deep in and really do a lot of research, and do your own research. Don't rely on other people to do the research. Kind of dig in and understand the reality, what to do and how to do it, because you can find a good coin and it can take you to the moon. But the thing is don't get too greedy. So many people want to get too greedy now. Of course, everybody says, Heath, when SHIB hits whatever it hits, you should sell. I agree. My advice is always take out the investment that you put in. So, if you put in 10 grand and all of a sudden it doubles, take out your 10, you still let your other 10 ride and just let it ride. Right. To me, that's a good way to do it. Shiba Inu and Bone token and Leash token, those tokens, it's going to take a while for me to pull, because I really know and understand the economics and the tokenomics behind the coin. And the community behind the coin is so strong. When you got level, third floor doing all your graphics on the metaverse, and you got the gaming coming out, and you got Shiborium coming out, and they're going to be burning Bone tokens as the gas fees. That'll be the only gas fees. It's going to go to the moon, and if Bone goes to, I'm not going to say exactly how many, but I got a lot. If that goes to $10 a coin, I'm a millionaire, right? Gold. So just on Bone tokens, but in most of those tokens, I got really in early, but you got to take a little bit of a risk. But those 3 tokens, if I'm not going to ever take them all out. Not right now. If we were in 2005, 2006, and we've had some massive bull runs, then yeah, but I definitely will be taking out a good chunk, probably a third, probably in the next 24 months, if not sooner, depending on what level it goes to. And then I'm going to ride the rest to the moon. But I'm not going to get greedy. I definitely think that Shiba Inu will hit a penny. And I definitely think Leash token will probably hit 200,000 a coin. And I definitely believe that Bone token is going to probably within the next 12 months will hit over $5, maybe even $10. And that's going to be catastrophic. Chainlink, it's trading at $8, $8.90, $8.60. I don't see that being any less than a $50 coin. And I truly believe at the peak, it'll probably be over 100, 150 a coin. Solana, I think that'll peak probably 1,000, 2,000. And that's one of the things I will give you a little advice. Anything that's on Ethereum platform, when the 2.0 comes out, which is September 19th, they say the 15th through the 19th, it's going to skyrocket anything that's on Ethereum, because the gas fees are going to be so inexpensive. So when you're looking at trying to find those mid caps, you're going to want to find a gaming token or a token that has good economics and good tokenomics, something under Polygon, which is an Ethereum coin, something under Solana. And you can get probably a coin, not to give any names because I don't want it to spike up and have, give people false, but there's probably at least 10 tokens that are under those platforms that are going to 100x, 1000x, probably pretty soon. And you can ride that out. Me personally, when it comes to those type of tokens, those intermediate altcoins, I wouldn't ride too long. If it starts to spike up and you get a 50x, 100x, I would count your law. I would pull it all. I don't get too greedy. A good bull run's probably going to go max 3-4 months of a good steady up hand. Maybe a month and a half. But I think right now we're going to see. We're in August. I think next month is going to be a phenomenal month for crypto. I think it's going to skyrocket. I do think we're going to see a fall, and I think that's going to be by midterm. By I would say November, December, I think we're going to see a a fall when it comes to crypto, but to what extent, I'm not too sure. But, if the economy goes the way I think it's going to go, Matt, I think
Hmm.
people would be hurting. And that's one of the things, the recession, we're in a recession right now. We did 2 quarters of recession and 3 trillion in lost assets lost right now for people's retirements, 401ks. We've had 1 trillion in crypto gone. We've had 81,000 crypto millionaires lose it all. And that's all within 7 months. So it's
Crazy.
crazy. And now they just passed a bill, $739 billion to funnel into IRS agents and this and that. And the biggest thing I think that
The worst.
is the worst is, they want to obviously look at your bank account, anything over 600, and they want to see you buying crypto. They're going to, as soon as you have crypto in your bank accounts, they're going to obviously go there and audit you. It's a way that they can scoop up an audit. So, to me, diversifying, putting money in gold, silver, stocks, I'm not real fond of. That's one thing I do like about the annuities that we do sell when it comes to that. It's not in the market with the S&P, but it does reflect the market. So, you gain when the market goes up, but then you don't anticipate in the losses. So, but crypto is a good way that you can diversify and, throw in 1,000 a month, 500, whatever you can afford to lose is what I would recommend that you put in. And then the other thing that I would recommend too is making sure that you're on a good platform. I've had a couple friends that go on, and they get on their wallets, and then all of a sudden, they forget their 12 phrase words and they lose, they can't get back in. You got to spend some time and really make sure you have all your P's and Q's in a row and make sure you write down things. Coinbase, for instance, is big. They made a ton of money last year in 2021. Now they're hurting. BlackRock, I believe, is in negotiation right now that's probably going to buy them out. And I'm not a real big fan of BlackRock. In 2008, the government came in and they said to BlackRock, you need to help us out here. And they bought everything on 30 cents on the dollar on all the real estate. So BlackRock just lost in the last 7 months, 1.7 trillion in assets lost.
Wow.
Unheard of. And that's why I say things are going to go into not just a recession, a depression. I think that things are really going to get really bad. So my advice to people is hold money, save money, keep liquid, diversify on your portfolios, never keep all in one thing. And that's the other thing with crypto. I wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket or put it all in Bitcoin or Ethereum and, do some homework and you can really make some good money, but you don't want to get greedy.
Well, and I think it's important too to point out that so many people, like, this is when millionaires and billionaires, this is when people really become extremely wealthy by buying in down markets, by going all in when everyone's pulling out. And I'm not saying that people shouldn't be obviously conscious with their money, but I also think that, if you just look at over the years, how many people have taken down markets and really made huge cash. But obviously, BlackRock, to lose that kind of money and to still be able to say you're still in business, you're still moving, you're still going forward. Hell, that's beyond my comprehension. That's insane. It's insane.
Well, the thing about it is they own a ton of real estate. I couldn't tell you the number. I'd be lying if I told you. But, the biggest thing I look at is I follow a lot of good people. Elon Musk, I'm a big advocate, with him. He's done a lot of things, and I follow a lot of things. The thing he said the other day is the 3 Ps. You got to predict, prepare, and persevere. Those 3. We don't know if the market's going to crash, but
that's true.
It's all the signs are there. I could sit here and I can give you all the statistics and it will blow your mind. I know you don't have all the day in the world for that, but the things that I follow, the data is live. I have all the data. And it's a very scary situation. You've got $56 billion in real estate in China gone, like literally is basically went upside down with the economy and they've lost it all. You got Evergrande or Everglade or whatever that company is. They bankrupted. They didn't pay their notes, 381 or $83 billion in mortgage notes on property, 171 banks in the U.S., 121 banks globally that they bankrupted because they didn't pay their bonds. And and they have
That's crazy.
126,000 people over there in China that obviously doesn't work for them now. So that's going to affect us here, and then you have to look at, over the last 90 days, how much has ran up on people's credit cards. I know the numbers, but what do you think that in the last 90 days, how much do you think people put on credit cards?
I don't know, a couple grand, $2,000, $3,000.
No, they put over $55 million. No, I'm sorry, billion.
Oh, well, see, I was thinking per person, but that's
no. That's just, I'm talking about globally. Over the last 90 days, people have ran up $56 billion in credit cards. And these are fact. This is a fact.
Wow.
$56 billion in the last 90 days. What do you think? People are struggling there with the gas prices, and things like that. But, we don't know. We don't know exactly where it's going to go. But I love crypto. And at the end of the day, I'm a big caveat about that. And just learning the economics of what to do and how to do it. And follow they used to say follow Nancy Pelosi on her moves. But, when it comes to her trades. But, crypto, you can do really well with crypto. I've made a lot of money with crypto. I'm very, very excited. I'm looking forward to what the next year to two are going to come. 2008, I didn't really position myself that good to be able to capitalize. I went, I got in the mortgage business in 94, made tons of money every year. 2006 was my biggest year. I think I made $6 million that year. And to lose it all in 08, lose everything, houses, properties, money, bankrupt, the whole nine. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to anticipate and predict. If I'm wrong, I'm still ahead of the game because I prepared myself regardless. And I put myself in good positions to be able to jump on things and I definitely would have to say when it comes to crypto, when it comes to housing market, regardless of what people think, I think the next 12 to 18 months is going to be a time that you can get a great deal on a home if you're looking to purchase. Regardless of what rates do, you're never going to be able to time the bottom. As long as you get in the last 10%, 20% of the bottom, you still do okay. But if the market does crash and you predict it and you're ahead of the curve and you put yourself in a good position, you can do all right. Like I said, you always want to predict, you always want to prepare, and just muscle through it.
I think the people crack me up that because my guys will still make phone calls, and it's funny because every single day. So our inside sales company, that's all they do is they call, cold call, we'll warm call, we'll lead generate, all that fun stuff. And when we get these people on the phone, we get the same friggin' objection almost every single time. What do you think it is, Heath?
Let me talk to my wife.
Oh, that's a good one. We get that one a lot. The other, but yes, that is a big one.
I'm going to shop it around. Let me see if I can get a better deal.
Or they're like, I'm waiting for the market to crash. And I'm like, what? What do you mean you're waiting for the market to crash? Yeah, I think the market's going to crash. Okay, well, here's the deal. I don't have a crystal ball. Neither do you. You could wait all you want, but right now we know that in the immediate future, housing, homes are still going up in value. We're still seeing, not all markets, but most markets, we're still seeing a steady increase, especially here in Florida. It's not like it was 6 months ago. Hell, I would probably even venture to guess not like it was 3 months ago, 4 months ago. But it's still steadily going up. The interest rates, yes, those are also steadily increasing. But a lot of these guys sitting there saying, the market's crashing, it's going to crash. And then they're trying to guess. They're like, I'm going to wait. I just tell people, like, you may end up spending a whole heck of a lot more money waiting. Now is a great time because the rates are still, you compare these things historically, they're still pretty low. You look at it, I think 6% or 6.5% or something is like the average for, I could be wrong on that, but I read somewhere that's like the average.
Yeah, they've dipped down. They're probably right now about 5.25%, 5.5%.
Yeah.
We were up to about 6.8%. They've recently just dipped back down. The Fed
That's good.
The Fed is supposedly going to raise the rates to in the next week or two. But let's talk about the Fed. Let's be real. I've been in the banking world 30 years. I don't think the Fed has any clue what they're doing. I'm going to be honest. I don't even think that they're even running the rates. I honestly think it's the banks. I think it's the ISP. I truly believe it's kind of like Coke and Pepsi. One week Pepsi's on sale, next week's Coke's on sale. Pepsi, they go back and forth. They manipulate the pricing. I think all the major banks manipulate the pricing. We've already seen it when they had too much business. Oh, we'll raise rates a little bit. That way we'll slow down.
Right.
And I truly believe that the banks control the rates. I don't believe the Fed does. I think that's just, I've seen too much behind scenes for 30 years to really know. To me, I just think it's smoke and mirrors. But, there's always a good time to buy. When you have to have something, you got to live somewhere, And, I just think that we're going to see it. And, June was a tall tale on housing. Listings were up 18%. They were up 41% last month. Up 41% in Tampa, which is the number one city in the U.S. right now, where everybody wants to move. Listings are up 41%. But the biggest thing is the supply is up 93%. Mortgage applications are down 53%. Previously from this time last year. That is the biggest tale right there. You got so much supply and so little demand.
Right.
And in order to make that happen, to make things happen, you're going to have to lower your price on your house. Now, do I see that it's going to crash the market and your house that's $700,000 be $100,000? I don't think it'll go that low. I definitely think it'll probably be about a 60% correction. Over the last 2 years, it's been a 40% increase in property value.
Oh, it's crazy.
In 2008, the guy that predicted the crash, you ever seen the movie Big Short? He predicted that it was going to crash, and it was 8 times your income to buy a home. So if you made $80,000 a year, you bought a home for $640,000. What do you think it is today? It's 8.5%, 0.5% higher. So and it's definitely higher. The cost versus buying. Before it melted in 2008, it cost you $650 more to buy than it was to rent. Right now, it's $850 cost you more to buy than to rent. So
$850. So it's actually more. Buying a house is more than.
It's $200 more what it was in 2008. So if you go buy a house today, you buy a home today, it costs you $850 more to buy that home than it is to rent. And they go by statistics. This is facts. This is not my data. So, you look at all the money lost, the crypto loss, you look at the market, you see that the market kind of stayed at the level of the 1st January, March, and now you're starting to see this. You got June, the market's going up. Now you got July, we're up here. If it continues to go up like that, it's going to be a significant turn of events, and it definitely will shift into a buyer's market. But I think it's going to get worse and really drastically within the next 6 to 9 months. I don't think that we've seen the guy from Big Short, he's predicting this is going to dwarf 2008 is what he just said the other day. And when they just gave all that money and put it all on, that's the thing you have to look at. In 2008, we go all the way back to 1981 when rates were 17, 18%.
Crazy.
We had bonds at 14%. We're not getting bonds like that now. You can't put money in a bond and get 14% yield. You didn't have a pandemic back then. You didn't have supply chain. So now only do you have, the inflation that is crazy. You also have the pandemic. You also have the supply chain. And I think that's going to come into a factor. And then you've got Amazon laid off 100,000 people. Ford laid off 8,000 people. You got Redfin, Remax, and Compass. Compass is one of the prestigious real estate companies in the U.S. They all laid off 10% of the real estate people. You've got Keller Williams just cut. I think there's 51% of their workforce is gone in Keller Williams. So you can tell. You got Chase Manhattan Mortgage. They laid off 1,000 loan officers. So I definitely think we're going to see a shift. To what extent? I think it's going to be the worst that we've ever seen. It'll probably be the worst that we'll ever see, Matt, in our lifetime. And that's one thing I like. That's what I love about crypto. You're betting against the government, my friend. Betting against the government. So.
Well, and and that's kind of where I've even diversified a bit, because I mean, even with our business, I mean, we've seen, obviously, we've taken some hits. I mean, we've done well, but we've still taken some hits. And I mean, I diversify, so I don't just stay all in real estate or all in mortgage. I mean, I've got some solar clients. I've got clients in Cairo. I don't have any medical marijuana clients. If I can figure out a way to get into medical marijuana, that's a great industry. Obviously it's lots of highs in that industry.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Medical marijuana, when I first got into it 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I really didn't smoke marijuana because marijuana makes me sick. I got asthma. I didn't see any benefits out of it. If anything, I was either puking or going to the bathroom. But anyway, whole nother story.
Right.
But I got into marijuana due to a significant other, a woman that I dearly love. And she, didn't have to talk too much in my ear to get me into it. I'm just excited to be a part of it. And now I know a lot about marijuana's different strands, how to grow, what water temperatures, humidity, circulation, CO2, things that you need to really diversify to be able to have a good plant. You think that you can just throw up, some water in a pot and, put a seed in there and start growing. But there's a science to it. There's definitely a science to it. And I like the fact that, we have real organic, good, clean bud. Our highest that we've tested is 31% THC on a consistent basis. We're around 24 on a consistent basis. That's stellar, to be able and have clean. The biggest thing, is 1 in 1. They call it 16% THC and 16% CBD. That's the new, you can get a lot more money with that type of product. You got so many different strands, Gorilla Glue, Granddaddy Purp, cherry pie, cookie dough, so many different crazy things that you can make.
But it seems like such a closed off industry. I mean, is that a wrong way of thinking about it? Is it closed off, or is there opportunities for people to get into that?
There's definitely opportunity. I think that Oklahoma is pretty much closing their licensing chapter. So anybody that wants to get into grow is going to have a hard time in Oklahoma. Obviously in Florida, very, very expensive. I think the last license sold for $65 million for in Florida. So I think there's probably about a dozen grow facilities. Each state controls each one. So, we've been in business a little over 2 years now. The company's been I've been with them for 2. The company's been around for 4 years. So we're getting into the height, the peak. And, we got a beautiful property, 11-acre farm on top of Poto. And, it's nice. It's a nice drive. It's a 16-hour drive from Florida to Poto. But it's exciting up there. When you go up there to I call it Hicktown. Some people have no teeth and they're 400 or 500 pounds. There's not but maybe one gym in the whole place and nobody goes there. So,
so $65 million, I want to just kind of take a step back. How in the world does someone, I guess they're raising venture capital.
No, 65, it was $65 billion in credit card debt that was ran up in the last 90 days. 65 billion.
Oh no, but you said for Florida to get licensed.
Oh yeah, the license just to get the single license to be able to grow. Was 65 million for just the license to be able to grow. But you have to pay. When it first came out, I believe it was $1 million to get licensed, and I think they had 7 companies pay the $1 million, and then it got to the point where it's kind of like a liquor license where you got to negotiate and. So the biggest thing I found out that in Poto, they're having the cartels coming in and trying to reinvent the wheel up there. So that's why they're getting pretty stringent. So a matter of fact, one of my friends that, not my close friend, but I think one of them, Noelle, which is obviously my girlfriend, she's got friends in Oregon. And I think she had mentioned that they came in and threatened their grow facility and they made them sell. So that's common right now. People are just coming. You take your life or take the money that we're willing to give you and get the hell out. So
that's crazy.
We walk with guns up there and AK-47s, bulletproof vests. It's a shit show, but
It's nuts.
It's pretty cool though.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's so many opportunities in it, but I still just can't believe that licensing amount. That's just insane. So, where do people get funding for that? I mean, can you actually go to a bank and get funding for something like that, or is that like
I
a
mean,
no go?
I think it's the rich get rich, the poor get poor.
I gotcha.
So I think that it's kind of funny because I met Ben Mahu, which is the millionaire that's on Clearwater Sand Key Beach. He's got the big sandcastle, we call it. Hell of a nice, hell of a nice family, gorgeous house, and he could get money pretty cheap. Before this whole inflation, he was getting rates 1-2% bank rates on commercial.
Wow.
So he could, 10, 20, 30, $40 million commercial, $100 million project. He could get funding with 20% down at 1%. Right now, he says it's a little bit higher, 4 or 5. But he has that pool,
Still good for hard money. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting. Now, I definitely think that I can't really see what's going to happen with the market. I just know the facts are facts. The facts are here. To have 700% more foreclosures than last year, to have what we're having, it all makes sense that the market's going to crash. It's just a matter of when.
Right.
When you keep printing that money and money after money after money, we're going to pay the price for that. We have to pay the price for that.
Oh, yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen, with the economy and, Joe Biden. I know that everybody loves Joe Biden, but I don't know how you can fuck up air and water and fucking gas all within fucking the first year. Excuse my language, but
no, it's fine.
I'm going on a tear. But that's why I say, prepare yourself. Recession is coming, and if it doesn't come, you just prepared yourself even better. You just put more money on the side. They say the best thing to do is keep 12 months worth of business finances and personal finances on the side. And if the market goes really good and you got that money on the side and then things start to bounce back, you throw that into crypto or you buy some gold, you buy some silver. But my best advice with anything to develop and to build a portfolio is to diversify it at least in 4 or 5 things. Don't keep all your eggs in crypto. Don't keep all your eggs in real estate. Don't keep all your gold or silver. Definitely diversified in what you want to do. So
I love it. And that's great advice because that's literally even for our business. I mean, I'm always looking at ways to diversify, get into new niches, new industries, because I know, it is one of those things where when real estate is down, I could go into solar. When solar is down, real estate, or Cairo, or there's so many different things. And obviously, when you're in a service-based business, I think the biggest challenge is that in a lot of cases, there are services that people see as a vanity item or as something that they don't necessarily have to have or something that they can stop spending money on. And obviously, as that money stops circulating, the wealth stops accumulating. So it becomes a definite challenge. So that's always the waters I'm maneuvering for anyone looking to kind of get started just in, being an entrepreneur. What advice would you give for the new age entrepreneur?
I definitely, anybody that wants to get involved into crypto or entrepreneur, call me. I'll give you my cell, 727-643-6800. We can put together a nice business plan, spend time, take about 20, 30 minutes. I give you instructions on what you should anticipate. And the biggest thing is I can show you ways how to research your business in a way that you can propel and make yourself stand out and above the rest. But you have to prepare and you have to plan. If you don't prepare and plan and put together a good business plan on what you want to do, you're just going to keep hitting your head over and over again. You want to give yourself a good platform to base your business on. And I can't express that enough. So many people get unfunded, do certain things with their business that they're overpaying for inventory or whatever, depending on the type of business that you get yourself into. You could buy leads at $80 a lead. Or I can get you hooked up for $1 a lead. They're a little aged. There's so many different, or you can get really good quality, leads that are 15, 20. So depending on what you're looking for, like if it's a restaurant, where do you go get your supplies? Finding those good places that will be competitive when it comes to things and moving forward. So you're not overpaying for things and things like that. The other thing too, that a lot of people don't do is when they build out a space or they get a restaurant or they get a business and they have to get, a retail space, don't be afraid to negotiate and talk with the landlord and have them pay for the build out. Everything's always a negotiation,
That's true.
So the only good thing, I'm basically redoing my space in my office, and I'm getting the same rate as I got 5 years ago. And he's putting $130,000 worth of new stuff and renovating the whole place for free. It's about negotiations. I've been a long-term tenant. He doesn't have the whole place filled up, and I took advantage of the situation where I could obviously get things done and more favorable for me. So there's ways to do that. You just have to know how to do that.
Man, you should have like the Heath Hall closer school, kind of like how Brad Lee has. I learned something funny.
I like Bradley.
Brad Lee is actually really awesome. So it's funny because Brad DeMint turned me on to him, and I didn't really know.
Same thing.
Yeah, I didn't really know a whole lot about him. I mean, I used to follow Grant Cardone, and I'll say, man, I'm going to lose some people for this. I'll say that to say this. So Uncle G, don't get me wrong, he's got some cool stuff, but I feel like he spends more time selling his own shit. Just like buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And he doesn't teach. I mean, again, that's just I bought both sides stuff. I just bought closer school. I bought into, Grant Cardone's training. And I will say he's got Grant Cardone has a lot of amazing training. I read almost all the guy's books. He's got some really good stuff. But man, like Brad Lee's stuff is freaking next level. Like I watched these old videos that he has from a couple years back, just closing people, like how to close, how to continue to peel back objections. And I'm just like, man, this guy is phenomenal. Like it's awesome. It's totally different.
Well, I think God, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think skill is, I think if you're going to become a new entrepreneur or whatever, going into any space, you got to work on your skills. I mean, your closing skills, your sales skills. And when you said negotiations, I'm like, damn, man, I would love to have you negotiate on my behalf for these types of things. Because if you were able to leverage that kind of relationship where you're in this building and you're paying the same dollar amount that you were 5 years ago with all the crazy, ridiculous inflation. Because 5 years ago, we're like double and triple. I mean, it's crazy how much stuff has gone up. I'm
paying $22.40 a square foot. So,
oh, wow. Yeah,
and that's what I started
awesome.
5 years ago with him. And don't get me wrong, it was a little luck in that. And let me explain to you what I mean by that is he's got space behind my space that is vacant, that he can't put somebody there because of my space is here. And then the space across the hall has been taken. So it's a blank space. He can't put a door. It's just a hole in the building.
Right.
So he wanted to build that out long term. It's another 1,500 square feet that he wanted.
Oh, yeah.
That obviously down the road, long term, he's looking long term. I understand that too. And, obviously you can get more rent per square foot. So yes, it's costing him, but at the same token, I am spending a little bit more because I'm getting double the space, but I'm getting the same square footage that I got 5 years ago. So it's
awesome.
And I'd love, hopefully, I know that you're going back home up north, but I'd love, hopefully within 90 days, it should be completed. Hopefully, if you're still here, I'd love for you to see the space. It's going to be beautiful. But, at the end of the day, when it comes to sales and building, you got to be able to, you can develop a developer, somebody that can develop your business. You can teach them, you can train, you can develop closers, and you can teach them how to close. The finders, they're the most important, finding people. Having that personality to go out and do what you need to do and be able to bring that business in. And you can teach everybody everything else, but you got to have that personality, hit the streets, do the pavement. And with the way that the market's going, that's going to make people stand out. A lot of the people that are in the industry, it doesn't even matter about real estate, solar sales, whatever, construction sales, when the people do roofings and these salespeople, anything you do, you got to be a people person. You got to hit the street. You got to be able to build that brand. And just go back to Grant Cardone. I'm not a big fan of Grant. Never have. I think he's definitely about all the money. I don't have anything negative to say about him. He's making a ton of money. He's doing what he's doing. He's pushing out his program, and there's no harm, no foul. And I know that Brad Lee and him, been pretty close and talk. And matter of fact, they still talk and text, and so it's exciting. And I've just recently met Bradley, and I love Andy Elliott. I don't know if you know yet the Elliott Group.
I know Andy Elliott. Yep. Yep.
So I think meeting him, great energy, great personality, very comfortable, very approachable. Bradley, not so much. When I met him, we didn't click, whatever, for some reason. He's still a nice guy. I still follow him today. I look at his stuff. He's got good. I think the difference between Grant and Brad, I think Brad is he's more the type that is caring. He's about helping. And not always, to me, when I first started following, he comes across as, he's going to teach you. You're going to spend money, but at the same token, he's not wanting to take advantage of the situation. Where Grant, it's all about the products. Come to my vacation for $100,000 vacation for 3 days and spend all day with,
Right.
I get it. And Brad Lee, he said that Grant was paying about $1 million a month in marketing to get his name out there on all the social medias, put his name everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, so to me, I love crypto. Crypto is kind of like my backdoor favorite shit to do. Excuse my French, but
You're good.
I just love researching the crypto. The mortgages, I've been doing it for so long. It's old news. It's this, that.
I get it. Yeah.
So I'd rather be the guy that, hey, let me help you with your whole portfolio. If you need me to reduce your rate, I have that option. If you need me to help you take your savings and your retirement into a whole nother level, let me do that. I like the fact that protecting people's assets, protecting people's wealth. And, I grew up where if you work hard and you do the right things, you will make money. It's easy if you're a good person and you do the things that you need to do. It's harder to keep that money. And I say that several times. It's harder to keep that money. When you get to a certain level, I didn't wake up one day and say I was going to be number one on Zillow. I just worked hard to get there and get there and get there and get there. The fire sizzles out. Now I want to be that, that planner, that guy that says, hey, I'm going to put you in a nice, retirement situation, put you in an IUL or put you in this, put you in that. Explain the benefits of why. Explain that you need a trust, you need a will. You're spending all this money for, you got a family. What are you going to do if something happens to you and your wife? You guys get in a car accident, you both pass away. What are you going to do with the kids? You're going to so by able to offer the mortgage, the estate planning, the life insurance, and the annuities and investment opportunities is great. You can get maybe 3 or 4 sales, at least 2 sales out of every client. And it's all about being competitive, having that competitive edge. It's going to that point where it's not about, so much if, they like you, it's great, but they still want that best rate. You got 5.25. Well, I got 5, so having that advantage is what clients want. So life insurance and annuities are different. They're pretty stuck at one. Doesn't matter who you go with, where everybody has the same rate. It's all based by your health, your age, this and that. So that's one good thing I liked about that. And I like the residual fact that you can get the residual with a mortgage. You gotta sell them another mortgage. You gotta sell them another mortgage. You gotta sell them another mortgage. So So.
Well, and I mean, people get mortgages only so many years. I mean, unless you're like me, then you get one every year and a half, 2 years because you.
It's like buying a car every other year, right? And at the end of the day, I'm just excited. Like I said, I know that I just recently met you and you and your girl. Very, you guys are great people, and can't say anything bad. Appreciate you. So I really appreciate you inviting me to the show.
Of course,
if you have any clients or any people that are watching this that were looking to grow in the life insurance annuity, please give me a call at 727-643-6800. I'd like to help you grow your career in the annuity and life insurance business. Obviously mortgages is open as well, but my main focus, Hall Financial Group, is officially launched, and we're moving forward. We're recruiting relatively probably about 100 agents over the next 6 months is what we're looking to do. So
I love it.
We provide the training, the school set is all free, and we have it all here locally. So I really appreciate you having me on the show. If there's anything you need from me or anything I can help you with, just give me a call, Matt. You're always a friend.
I appreciate you, Heath. You as well. And for everybody watching, see you guys same channel, same time next week. Thanks again, Heath.
Take care.
You too.
Thank you.